Hello, my name is Sarah Mannix and I'm conducting an interview on the Tuesday the 15th of March with Kieran Kiely, whose father and brother worked in ranks. Now, can you tell me some of your earliest memories of
Well, my earliest
ranks?
memories of my father working in ranks, my grandfather was killed. It wasn't actually ranks, it was a mill before that time. In 1970 my grandfather was killed in the mill in the Dock Road, and he left 5 kids, a widow and 5 kids. My father was the eldest of the boys. There was 3 boys there, and he had 2 sisters. So he went into ranks as a young man and worked in ranks up to 1976. He had over 40 years service in ranks. And in 1975, the news, around September, the news came out that ranks was going to close. And my father, who wasn't too well at the time, was off sick, and he went back to work, and with the hope of getting out on redundancy earlier time. He was 63 that, and he had only another 2 years to go. So that was September 75, and in the 11th of January 1976 my father died in his sleep. He was still he was after been working the day before, because I was at the top of the meeting. I was passing in the Dock Road. I'm a mechanic in CA at the time, and I was passing in the Dock Road, and there was a apprentice with me, Paddy, come, and I says to Paddy, "What time is it?" He says, 5 to 1. She said, "I bet you my father, I'll meet my father." So we drove down on the Dock Road, and as I approached ranks, my father crossed the road, right? My brother was waiting to collect him. My father used to do a bet, didn't he go home? My father lived in Rathbane, and I pulled in behind my brother, and I spoke to my father, and I was playing a Transfer Cup final the following day out in Thomond Park with young Munsters. And I just said to my father, the weather was very cold now, this is January 10th, and he says, "I'll try and get out to the match now tomorrow to see you playing." So I don't want to say the weather's too cold.
Was it a rugby match?
A rugby match, a Transfer Cup final rugby match. We were playing Thomond. So the next thing I saw, he just said to me, he said, "Will you do me a favour?" I will. He says, "Will you drop Jack Dillon up to Rathbane on the way back to the garage?" I said I would. So he said, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." So I never spoke to my father. The next day, the following morning, my father was dead. I got a knock at the door. My brother knocked at me. My father had passed on. So I never played the match anyway. But I remember as a boy going down with a lunch down to ranks. Do you know?
Carrying it down to your father, was it?
Down to ranks. My father never had a car. My father used to cycle from Rathbane to ranks.
How far was Rathbane then?
We say it would be. We say Rathbane now, it would be a good mile now, do you know what I mean? And at that time now, they used to go, my father used to work shift work, so he'd be down there. There was an awful lot of overtime in ranks at the time. So he used to, if he was staying back then, I didn't know, because we had no phone. There was only one phone in Rathbane, a public phone, so how my mother knew that he needed a lunch, I don't know. So next one of us would be called and we'd go down with the lunch. And we looked for my father below, and next people brought him. I was all over the ranks now as a boy, you know what I mean? And I could see him with this big shout, right? And next they'd hold the bag, an empty bag up, fill the bag. They were just stone bags now, over onto a weighing scale, right? And there'd be a box of flour here that you'd top up, or it was above the level of the weight. And then you had to bring it over and sew the bag as well. And then put it up in the back and brought it over here. And it was terrible. The manual work, I'd say.
Was that what your dad was doing?
That's what he was doing, for years. And then it was as he got older, he was with the maintenance then. At the end of his days, he was, do you know what I mean? He was with the electrician or whatever tradesman who needed a hand, do you know what I mean? But I remember on the Dock Road around September, there used to be lorries, hundreds of lorries bringing the wheat into ranks, you know.
From around Ireland, is it?
From.
Where would they get most of their wheat from then?
They came from all over, I'd say. I wouldn't know, some of the lads would know, but there was a row of lorries waiting to go in there, and they all had to be sampled in. They had their own laboratory.
My husband's, his father used to grow a lot of wheat for ranks.
No.
And a lot of people just got out of it, farmers got out of it when ranks closed.
That's right. Lorry loads, and it all had to be tested and the sample up to the lab. They had their own lab, they had their own garage, they had all their own tradesmen, they had electricians, carpenters. I think they had a tinsmith, electricians, fitters, Like they,
So they nearly employed most of Limerick, so? Or?
I think it's one at the meeting, the last meeting, I think it said something like around 200, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was
massive.
yeah. They made flour, and they used to bake and test the, you know what I mean? All that kind of thing, you know. But it was a very manual, hard work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in 75, they said they were going to close it, but they didn't close. It took nearly 75, it took nearly 8 years before it actually closed.
Yeah, it was such a stronghold in Limerick, I suppose.
And my brother Dominic then, he worked there, I'd say, in the late 60s for a couple of years, and then he went off to England. You know, it was a great job now if your father was in there to get into ranks, you know what I mean? Kind of,
so
at that time it was a job for a lot.
Yeah,
there was a lot of families down there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were great in the sport. They had a great soccer inter-firm teams, ranks had, you know.
Oh, between different mills, is it, or?
Well, all we say if you worked in ranks, you could play with the soccer team. You know, they had an inter-firm, all different. They'd be playing. We said the Dockers, or they'd be playing. We say Shaws, Mathesons. They all had different. They all had soccer teams. It was called inter-firm. Do you know what I mean? So they had a lot of that. And my father, as I said, then was a hurler and hurled with Limerick, and Pat Hartigan and Pat McMahon. They all played with Limerick, and ranks brought them to Dublin for one All-Ireland weekend. I said it was around.
To watch the Ireland, was it?
Pardon?
To watch the Ireland.
Yeah, for a weekend. So everything paid, and later on they stayed in a hotel and went to the match and all that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And there was a few from up the country as well. There were footballers. There was 3 hurlers. I think there was about 6. But that photo was in one of the papers. And I think we still have that photo. I think I give it to my brother to see could he do a job on the photo. I'll see can I get back the photo. You know?
Right, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, and there should be. And I was talking to one man there. He had a soccer photo of ranks. You probably got that already.
Yeah, they probably have it.
Have it there. Yeah. And they used to have social events. You know what I mean? Just,
it was very. It wasn't just work. They had a lot of background stuff into it, hadn't they?
And they had a choir. And and they used to sing in the Franciscans up till they closed there a couple of years ago. They also had a fire brigade, right? And in my father was in the fire brigade. There's a photo of that there as well. And there's about 50 of them now. And you know, when Tiles went in fire in 1959, they were down there trying to put the fire out as well. Yeah. The ranks fire brigade, you know. So they were kind of equipped for everything, you know, because the youth site down there, you know. Yeah. You know.
You said your grandfather was killed in the mill. Do you mind telling me what happened to him, or how he died?
Well, he went into work, right, on a Monday morning. I gave it to Jackie on the inquest, and he went into work, right, and next thing he went, at 8:30, this man went in where he went in, and next he found him dead with blood coming out of his mouth and ears. Dead on the floor. They didn't know what happened to him. Yeah. And that was on a Monday morning, right? And at 4 o'clock that evening they had an inquest, and there was a report on the paper the following day. It was all done and dusted like that.
Yeah. So is that kind of, was it the fact that ranks was so powerful he could have it done so quickly, or?
I don't know. They brought in a doctor. Jackie would show you. I gave Jackie the report on the inquest. It was all done in one day. If that happened today,
you'd have 6 or 8 months waiting.
6 months you'd be waiting, you know, for it, you know. So he left 5 kids in. My father then was the only one. There was 3 boys and 2 girls. My father was the only one that went into ranks, and he worked there all his life. I actually saw it at the last. You weren't at the last meeting, no. And I see where they were showing pay sheets and stuff like that. I could see my father's name and his wages and all that, and his number, you know. So my father always had a good living from ranks, you know. I mean, good wages, and there was overtime. They always made a few bob extra, you know. And they had a good social. There used to be a lot of events on, and they were always doing something, you know.
Yeah. So. How old was your brother then when he started working with ranks?
I said Dom was let's see now. I'd say about 17 or 18. Yeah. No, he's living in Tralee. And actually I rang him there last week to do something up for me, you know what I mean? So he didn't come back to me yet. I'll give you more details on that. Anyway, so. I think of anything else now. we lived in Rathbarn. There's a good few people from Rathbarn. They had their own fleet of lorries as well as ranks.
Yeah.
They delivered all over the country. I remember one time I was an apprentice in the Limerick Motorwood in the Ford garage, and I says to my father, I had to go down to Cork for a course for a week, and I says to him, I know how I'm going to get down to Cork. I didn't. My father asked one of the ranks drivers that goes to Cork every morning, Tommy Dillon. I actually met him the other day up the canal walk, and he said, and my father asked him, and I met him below at ranks, and he dropped me down to Cork.
Yeah.
I was bringing back a new car. I was down there for a week, and that time they used to bring back the new cars, you know, for sales. So I got down in the ranks lorry, but they had their own fleet. They delivered all over the country. You know what I mean?
Could you describe what ranks looked like, say, if you stood in the back road to see like how it was laid out or anything? Because say when we go down there now, we'll only see the one side.
One side. It was much the same now on the other side, but all this side now, the garage was in the back. There was a man who lived above in Gienza, a Mr. Spencer. I can't think of his first name. He was a Protestant. There was a lot of Protestants because a lot of the bosses were Protestants, and he was a chauffeur. He used to chauffeur if the boss wanted to be brought here or there, he was the man. But it was a massive place, and the floors were as smooth. They made out just from the floor, and the dust. You could skate along the floors. They were all beautiful timber floors. You know, it was. Then you had a silo. That was one part of it, and you had the mill. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Was it 4 silos they had originally?
I'm not sure. No, how many there? I know.
So you'd have been in and out ranks a lot, was say, visiting your dad and stuff. You'd know what the inside of it was like and stuff.
Yeah, it was massive floors, and you could look down. From here now, I'd say from here now down to the Hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were nearly as big as at the floors. You know, big white floors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else can I think now?
Do you think when ranks closed it made a big impact on Limerick City?
Oh, it did. You know, there was an awful lot of people, and then there was some of the men that should have went earlier didn't. They were hanging on, and then the fellas that went earlier got the big money. Do you know what I mean? But it was there for them all. But fellas thought it would never close because they were working overtime, and they were all. So the older fellas, the likes of my father, now was mad to go because he had once you had the 40-year service, you get the max, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them wouldn't. They waited, and then they ended up getting very little in the end, you know.
Yeah, and why exactly did ranks close?
What
was the reason behind ranks closing?
Well, I'd say the market changed or whatever. I suppose they could get it. Well, they went back to England. I don't really.
But you were
know.
saying there was like an 8-year gap between saying it would close and actually closing.
In September '75, that was the first time my father. I think he got a thing in a sheet like that in his waistcoat saying that ranks would be closing. That was the start of it. And that was in September '75, and it didn't close until '83. So it took 8 years before it actually closed. You know, why? I don't know. In the unions, and there was a lot of arguing, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of people then were upset at the end because they didn't get probably what they thought they should have got. You know.
Yeah.
And the guys that went early got good money. You know.
Yeah. So was there many in your family then, would say, growing up when your dad was working there?
Well, we said there was 4 of us. We said I had an older brother, Michael.
Yeah.
I was next then, and then my sister Noreen, and then Dom, the youngest guy, went into ranks.
So you'd no real interest in joining your dad in ranks, only Dominic?
He was the only guy, the only one, because I went in as an apprentice mechanic, so into the motor, so I went from there then into CIE, and I'm still in CIE.
Yeah.
So I'm in CIE since '72.
Okay. What kind of, you said your dad, he was filling the legs of it as they came down.
Yeah.
What was the work then? It's just in here, the boy, what was that?
Pardon?
The boy, I think it's called, the type of worker known as boy.
No, I wouldn't know. I just reflect here and see, can I say anything? I'd say that's about all I think now, Sarah. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Sure. Let's say, would friends of yours now have family that would have worked in ranks?
Oh yeah, Eddie Doherty, you know, I often go with Eddie, you know, and his father worked in ranks, and he when you had the thing on that time in, when was that, October, was it?
October, I think, was when the meeting was, yeah.
And he actually was on holiday. He was going mad that I must say to him that I'd say, because he worked there for years and his father worked there, you know what I mean? So I must say to Eddie, you know, I must ask Jackie, was Eddie in touch with him? Because he'd be the man that worked there, and his father, you know, they'd have a lot of service between them, you know.
So what was Limerick like then for yourself growing up? Was it even outside of ranks?
Well, you could go from one end of Limerick that time. There was very few cars. We lived above in Rathband. My father and they all worked. They all went to work on bikes. No one had cars. You know what I mean? No. And then we say, I went down to ranks. I'd have to walk down to ranks. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was no taxi. You weren't getting a taxi like today. No. Yeah. You know. And the Dock Road was a hive of activity that time. You had Mahans and the dockers, you know what I mean?
What were the dockers? Oh, the people coming in with it?
No, the docks, working the docks. You know, when the ships come in, they unloaded the ships, the dockers they were called. Yeah. They were, it was very busy. That road there was a very, very busy road, you know.
So that road was basically Limerick's centre of industry, was it?
Yeah, it was a big part of it anyway, yeah.
And would say, if you look down that road now, is there any other businesses other than ranks that were there?
Well, no, yeah, there's the wire factory is down there on the right hand side, whether it is still operating or not, I don't know.
I think it's a dormant building now.
Yeah, and Mahans were off, Mahans, the timber yard, they were down there. You had all the dockers, there was loads of people from all over the city worked in the docks. Yeah. You know what I mean? When the ships came in, and the dockers had stevedores, they were the bosses, they'd job you. When they want 10 men to come out and they said to be all lined up there, the dockers, and they said, they were the stevedores, they were called. They were kind of, they were kind of the boss, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. They jobbed you, you know what I mean?
As in they gave you something to do on the docks, or?
Yeah, they said, right, I would go over there, fall in with him there for the day, you know. You got paid by the day then, I think, the dockers did, you know.
There was no shortage of work then either, I suppose.
No, there was loads of ships coming in and cold, they'd have to all shovel it off. It was all terrible manual work, you know. Yeah. So,
and was there a lot of women working in ranks?
There was, yeah. And
what kind of jobs would the women do then?
The women, I know one woman, Phyllis. I was talking to her recently about it. You know, it was a kind of there was a lot of women worked in ranks. You know, but they wouldn't be near where all the heavy work was going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Would they kind of be sewing bags or something?
They were the smaller amounts of flour as well. You know, the bags of flour.
Oh, like you'd use for baking, the 1 kg bags.
Yeah, all that. You know.
They'd be filling them with it.
Had you any much women coming in? Do you know?
Not that I know. To be honest, you know. No. Would you know of any, would say, relationships that started in ranks?
I'd say there was loads of them. I wouldn't know any now, say about it. I'd say love stories definitely began down there, I'd say, you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of, would say, social events then, would they have like parties and dances that your father would have gone to?
Yeah, they would have, yeah.
Do you have any memories of anything he would have gone to other than, would say, sports-wise?
Only the sports things, you know what I mean? I'd be too young, you know what I mean? At that time, as kids, you'd be going to nothing. Now the kids go to everything. They're in the middle of everything. In them days, you know. Because if you had to go, you'd be walking every place in them days, you know what I mean? So, let's see now.
So you think ranks had a big impact on your life as a child?
Oh yeah, because I always relate to ranks, you know what I mean? When I heard that and when I saw that in the paper, I was terrible interested. I even actually rang Jackie and I said to Jackie, you should get that announced on the 95, which she did, and they got a great response because people came on during that week talking about their experiences on the radio, which is great, you know, and then as it turned out, it was a huge crowd on the night, you know.
Yeah. And you said your brother immigrated, didn't he?
Right.
Your brother immigrated, did he?
He did, he went to England.
But so was there a lot of immigration around the time?
Well, see, there was a lot of work there. People were coming and going, you know. You could go from nearly one job to the other, and then Shannon was a very busy spot, you know what I mean? So you had jobs in Shannon, you could go any place. You could nearly walk out of a job today and start in another job tomorrow, you know what I mean? He was that good, you know.
And what did he go to England as?
When he went to England, he went there. He went on the buses. He was a conductor. He was a driver, and then he was an inspector. He worked in London for a few years, and then he moved to another part of England. You know, and then he went back to college, and now he teaches below in Tralee. You know, the kids. What would you call them? The kids, you know, special needs kids.
Oh,
you know.
okay,
So,
cool.
So that's what he does now.
Yeah. And was like growing up, you'd grow up for working in ranks, no?
No, I never kind of. I went up to the tech after I went to CBS school, and then after that I went to the tech for 2 years, and then I went in as an apprentice.
Yeah. Do you have good memories of your time in school?
There were tough times. The Christian Brothers.
Yeah. Would you like to tell me something about your school days?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I went into sections, I would say, in the 50s. I was there. It was, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. I did 5 years. I was in the scholarship class, but they played a lot of hurling and football. You had to play hurling and football. That's what they wanted you to do, and they were very. The corporal punishment was widespread that time. They were very. They were too tough, I think. Like, they wouldn't get away with it today what they did to kids. I see them belting kids around the place. You know what I mean? If they caught you,
I think that made an impact on you as a child.
It definitely did, you know what I mean? Because even when I see what has happened since, you know what I mean? The only thing I always said, I was glad I was going home every evening. I would like to be there all night with them, you know?
Yeah. Oh, was it a boarding?
No, this wasn't a boarding school.
No.
This was only a day school. But I was saying, when I see afterwards what happened in a lot of these films that they showed about through life, but the kids were abused and all that. You know what I mean? And
do you ever find it difficult with, say, going back to your parents to tell them what was going on in the schools, or was it something that wasn't done?
It wasn't done, no. Because you see, if you went in home and said blah blah blah, you get another clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That seemed to be everybody got clipped. If you didn't get clipped at school, you get clipped at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's it. And it was accepted. You know, the brothers and the nuns were like guys going around. You know, at the fall down your knees and genuflect. You know, when if you met them on the street. You know. Yeah. So they were too tough, I'd say. You know what I mean? They were violent. You know. I see them belting fellas now. You know what I mean? And they used the leather and the sticks. You know what I mean? Out the line, have the whole lot of out the line, and you were maybe 6 in one hand and 6 in the other hand. And we imagine now I sent you all, you were 6 slaps, and you holding out your hand like a fool. Do you know what I mean? Who'd do that today?
No.
You wouldn't, would you? Then that stopped.
Did that take over, say, most of your memories of school? Would you have any happier memories, or are they all really
clouded? I liked the sports and all that side of it, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And then you had more people say they did us no harm, do you know what I mean? But and I often wonder how we learned that. I'd say we learned anything. You'd have to learn that and read it off and learn it. The fear of God, I'd say we learned a lot of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine you being taught now and you had to learn it, or going in, or you'd be getting slapped or belted around the place.
So happy. The learning wasn't a happy.
No,
time.
It wasn't. That's why we say. Obviously, I should have gone on to secondary, because I was well able to do what I was doing, but the violent side of it kind of turned me off. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
So it just turned you off.
Yeah, and I went to the tech then, which was totally different. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean?
Do you ever regret not furthering?
Well, I would know it was. I became a mechanic. Maybe I could have become an engineer. You know what I mean? So hindsight is a great thing, of course. Looking back, like at that time there was no UL there, or you had no UL. You're a UL.
No Mary I.
Mary I. You know what I mean? But that was always there, anyway, wasn't it? How long was it Mary I there? It's a long one.
I really wouldn't.
You'll be a teacher, so Sarah, yeah?
A secondary school teacher, hopefully, hopefully now. Yeah.
So, but I tell you, there were different times, and even the nuns. I'll just tell you a nun story.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, right, went to Jamesborough School, right, Mags, and her father died. Right, she has 6 brothers, right. She's the youngest, and she had one of her brothers, Terence, was a tailor, right, worked in Danis. And he used to make all the clothes for him. The father died when she was only 2 and left 7 kids. The mother reared them on her own. She's still alive now, Maureen. And Terence used to make, they come on as the for school, the girls.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike says to Terence, what length do you want it? He says, down to my knee there, and he says, that'll be too short. No, I want it down there. So, and he put a big tuck on it, you see. He could do anything with the sewing machine.
Yeah.
She went into school, and when the nun saw her, you know what the nun did? The nun put her out to the line, right? And she got a newspaper, right? And then we said, we'll just say the skirt was up, we'll just say to here or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she tack on a newspaper all around her and made her stand outside.
Jeez. Was it more kind of to humiliate her that she left us in there?
Well, because the made out the skirt was too short, do you know what I mean? And when she went home, then she told her mother, so Terence didn't have to drop it. He had a big tuck on it, he had to drop it down. Wasn't it odd, the way they were thinking, you know what I mean? So imagine a nun doing that today.
No,
she wouldn't do it, yeah?
He wouldn't have it.
Yeah. So that's a nun story.
Yeah. And had your wife any involvement, or her family, in ranks?
No, there was no. They lived in jails. No, there was.
And how did you and your wife come to meet then?
Well, we say we met. It's nothing to do with ranks or nothing like that. Just met socially, I'd say that's about it. Is this all right?
Yeah. No, I'll just go for another few.
All right. So, anything else? What?
And what kind of, did they had any traditions in ranks that they'd follow? Like, was there any special days that have other than sports days? Like,
They used to have social events too. I see there was one or two things. They ran a trip one time to Twickenham, the ranks.
Yeah.
My father was on that. They ran a plane load of workers to Twickenham. Ireland were playing England, and Ireland won the same day. I think that was around 69. And I remember I was at home at the time, and on the Sunday evening when they came back in, they all went up to Jerry O'Dee's. They were dropped into Jerry O'Dee's in the lounge. It was a big lounge. And I remember my mother said to me about 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock that evening, she says to me, "Kieran, before you go out now, make sure you go down and get your father home, So I went down, and when I went in, the place was full of all the ranks guys that were after being away, playing with them. And next thing I spotted my father, and my father had a few points, like they were all steamed, as the fella says. And I says, "Mind Dad, I take you home." He says, "I think, have you a few bob there, and I'd buy you a few drinks for the lads." I said, "Dad, you have enough now, so it's time to go home." So I said, "Where's your bag?" So he said, "There's my bag." So I went over there and I stood there. After about 10 minutes then he came away. I took him home. Do you know what I mean? But they actually ran a trip to Twickenham.
would they have planes that time? Would they wouldn't have been, would they, not many people would have had journeys on planes then, would they?
They wouldn't, no. That was how it says, 69. Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
So you kind of, the ranks, they kind of got the elite lifestyle nearly.
Yeah, so well, they ran a flight because a lot of people would be going to England that time now. We say we would go by the boat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas they flew, as far as I know, they flew anyway,
Yeah. Which mill then did your dad work in? There was the Perry Mill and the City Mill. Which one of them was he in?
Do you know what? I'm not even sure of that now.
Yeah.
He worked in the, you had the silo, what name the mills there?
There's Newton Perry Mill and there's the City Mill. I think there was, you've silo 1, I think 2, 3 and 4. Was that how it was laid out?
Yeah.
So you'd one closest to the dock.
That's the one on the right hand side now, yeah.
I think so. And then you'd 3 that were connected on along.
On the other side, yeah. Well, my father worked on, and as you go down the dock road, he was on the left hand side. In there now, which of them, I don't know. As a kid going in there now, I wouldn't know one from the other.
Yeah. Were his working days long in ranks?
My father worked shift work there.
Yeah.
So he'd go to work at 6 to 2 and 2 to 10. That was the shift. There were long days,
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of overtime then. People worked overtime and it was everybody did it,
And was his job dangerous?
Hi?
Was his job dangerous?
There was a few people killed there, anyway, I know that, I'm telling you, I know my grandfather was killed, but that was way before that. But there was one or two were killed, we said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would he come home with a lot of anecdotes from the mill?
When he come, I can tell you one thing. Inside in the bedroom, when he take off his clothes, there was nearly a pile of flour, and it was like everything was white, you know.
Yeah.
And they had no masks, or there was no special gear or anything.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't supplied with overalls or anything. You went to work like this, you know what I mean? You came out white. They all wore caps, and you take off the cap full of flour, dust and everything, you know. It was a very unhealthy, I'd say, place to work in.
Would he ever come home sick from...
Well, he ended up with a kind of, although he was a smoker now, he smoked Goldflick, but he was always coughing and choking. I said, well, it was the flour and the cigarettes, the combination, you know.
Yeah. Can you remember any of the stories he come home with, would say, that things they get up to while they were working, or...
There was a fella there, he was a singer and a bit of an entertainer, Steve Shinners. He used to do a bit of singing and that blowing in ranks, you know, and different things that they had. It's more of sports now, things than anything, you know.
Yeah. Did he have a lot of games, like, had ranks their own teams?
Yeah, the soccer, they definitely had a soccer team, an interfirm soccer team, yeah.
Yeah. And would they play many games in the year?
They would. They'd play in, there was kind of interfirm leagues and cups matches. They played above Cal's Park, Caledonian Park now. What part? You're not Limerick, girl,
No. I'm from Kerry.
Oh yeah. Caledonian place now. Cal's is a big... Well, you could have 4 or 5, you could have 3 or 4 games on at the same time, you know what I mean? All the matches used to be played there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the interference matches used to be played there. Ranks, the Dockers, all these teams, and they had loads of teams. Clovermeads, Mathesons, Janus, you know, they all had their own different teams. I said, maybe I know about the school teachers now.
Yeah.
They have teams now, alright, but CIE always had teams in that as well.
And would say a place like CIE play ranks in India?
Oh yeah, there'd be a league kind of a system, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was just between ranks.
No, there'd be kind of a competition, do you know what I mean? Yeah. We say ranks would play CIE, ranks would play different teams, you know what I mean? It's just like the Premiership now, you know, with the points and all that.
Oh. And like, would you have to go to see the matches then?
Yeah, we'd go down to Cal's, my father said, go down, and we'd go down with him, down to Cal's, you know, or down to the borough, James had a soccer pitch there, they used to play pitches there. There was a clubhouse then, they go in after it, you know, and we have a few points and have a sing song. They were great for the singing, they had the choir, ranks in the choir, the fire brigade. So they had all types of trades, you know. Yeah. And before the trucks, then they had the horse and carts. They had their own horse and carts, like collecting stuff and delivering stuff.
Yeah, and would they take the horse and carts on long journeys or journeys?
No, around the city only, yeah. And they had stables and all belonging in ranks. Because they spoke about that on the radio, you know.
Yeah. Can you tell me something about that? Because I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I heard Jack Cusick now. They actually used to live below and look after the horses in ranks. He was on the radio talking all about that, you know, which was interesting. They had their own fleet of horses and carts, and then as time went by, then the trucks came in, and you know, like Guinness one time had all the horse and carts, hadn't they? And then the trucks came in. So.
Wow, it's really interesting.
Mm.
So anything else?
What were you on that? All right.
Another 10 minutes maybe,
Right.
Yeah. I'd say, was there anything your dad found hard about the work in ranks?
The hours were long, and there was a lot of manual work in his early days, but as he got older then he got kind of he was with the maintenance guys, and it was a handier job, you know. He was helping, say, an electrician or a fitter or whatever, so it was a lot handier, you know. Yeah,
what, did he start off filling the bags, was it?
Yeah, he went in as a boy there. And then it became, I don't know whether they call him a miller or what, I don't know what actually it was the terminology of him, you know. Yeah. My brother would probably know more, you know. Yeah. To get on to him. I should have brought him in with me. I should have brought him up from Kerry.
So how old was your dad when he started work in the mills?
Well, he was born. My father was born in 1912. So if my father, he was alive, he's dead since 76. He'd be 100 next year if he was.
Yeah.
But he definitely. We reckon. My sister Noreen says anyway that my mum, when my father died, says my father had over 40 years done.
Yeah.
I wonder have they any records of it? Must ask Jackie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he had over 40 years service done.
Yeah.
So I reckon he was born in 1912, 22, 32. In 1932 he was 20. So if he was in 32 to 76,
yeah, over 40 years.
Yeah, you know, so.
Yeah. You said they had a bakery in Ranks. Were you often home with it with treats in, or was it?
No, that was only. I think that was only for themselves, testing the bread and testing the stuff. Yeah. The women, I must find out because I mean, there's a woman who I know, Phyllis, that worked in Ranks, and she'd know, the women would know more about that side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dama's wife, Carol worked in Ranks too, you know.
You've no idea what she did in Ranks?
I'm not sure what she actually worked at in Ranks, because she went in the crop sort of, that's what I'm saying to you. There was jobs that time you could go out of one job and into the other. There's no way you'd be able to do that today, is there? So I must ask Phyllis what the women, I must get some of them to come down to you.
Yeah.
Because there was loads of women at the night here. They might be a bit reluctant to come into.
We'll say now when you were going down to your dad, we'll say with his lunch. We'll say, can you remember back to standing in the dark road and the sounds and the smells of the dark road?
There was a peculiar kind of a smell from the flour now, do you know what I mean, and the wheat, you know what I mean. There was a hive of activity when you go in there, you know.
Yeah.
Bodies all over the place, you know. There's loads of people working there, you know what I mean. You see loads of people. Like you go into jobs now, and you'd be looking around for someone, wouldn't you? And all the different floors. Many floors was actually in there. It doesn't say there how many floors.
No, I think it was 6.
Yeah,
I think 6.
And there were huge floors. As I said, you could look from nearly here down to the Hunt Museum. Down on, you know, they were on. And then you went up kind of. The stairs went up kind of that way, you know.
Yeah, kind of in a spiral.
Yeah. I remember doing that. I remember being up on the very top, looking out onto my father brought me up there one time, looking down onto the River Shannon. You had a great view because you were up so high. Yeah. You know, and you went across that tunnel thing, you know, one across to the other side, you know.
What does it feel like then, jumping up so high?
Up so high, do you know what I mean? I was in New York there 2 weeks ago and I had a pain in my neck from looking over. You in New York, were you?
Yeah.
Did you see the height of the buildings? To us now, we say Ranks was very, very high. You know, when you look at it towards New York, you wouldn't consider it high now. You wouldn't. But it was a hive. The dock road was a busy spot. Do you know what I mean? It was go, and they were all on bikes. Very few people. I'd say if you had cameras today rolling, do you know what I mean, and they all coming out at 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock when they're finished, there'd be some sight, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
All bicycles.
Yeah. But say, just to finish up now, what was the one thing that from Ranks that impacted you the most, or even impacted Limerick, socially or economically?
Ranks was a famous name. It was, everybody knew about Ranks, what they did, you know, what you did down there on the floor. You know what I mean? And it was advertised all over the place, you know what I mean? Ranks. And then you had the Rank film crowd, but I don't know what they had anything to do with them, maybe.
Yeah, I think they're the same family.
Some connection. The only thing I'd say about Ranks, my father always had a good wage over it, you know what I mean? And he worked there all his life, so a lot of people when they went in there, they worked there for years and years, 30 and 40 years, so obviously it was a great employment spot, you know.
Was there when it closed, and was there sadness in Limerick?
There was, because there was a lot of bitterness because it dragged on so long then, and then they were trying to get money, and the money was kind of dried up and gone, and there was a lot of, the unions were involved, and there was a lot of a lot of people were probably sorry they didn't go earlier. Obviously you're hanging on, you're expecting to get more money. Everybody's like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll go next year, and next year there might be nothing there to go. You know,
But overall, you have a positive.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, my father was. I was very proud to say he worked in ranks. We were used to. Where did your father work in ranks? Do you know what I mean?
It was a big thing to say that you had someone there, was it?
Yeah, and they always, even when they'd meet one another, they were. Do you know what I mean? They were always talking about ranks and telling stories. You know what I mean? Even years afterwards. You know what I mean? As I said, my father was still working in ranks, and he was 62 years of age, hoping to get out with a redundancy in the package, you know what I mean? But it didn't come to pass. But some of the men that did go early got the big money, you know?
Yeah.
I think, I remember one for they were saying at that time, I was saying, go back now in 76 or whatever, £38,000, something like a figure like that, which was a lot of money. You go back now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What would it be worth today? Yeah. Like it was, at that time no one had big money like that, you know. So that was the floor, you know. The ranks. It's a famous name. Everybody in Limerick, if you know about ranks, you know.
Yeah, even outside of ranks, even saying to my grandmother that I was interviewing for ranks, she's like, "Oh, they had flower, hadn't they?"
Yeah,
it's known everywhere.
Yeah, all over the country, didn't it?
Yeah.
So even though you're a long way, what part of
near Castle Island.
Oh,
near, not too far from Chile.
The bypass there now, do you find that good or bad? Do you?
Oh, great, yeah.
Do you find it good? Yeah.
Great for coming up to Limerick.
Yeah, but what about Castle Island now? Would they miss the people and so?
I think it'll always have the same. It'll always have the people that'll come in from outside of it, in and out.
Yeah,
you know,
so it
I don't think it'll make too much of a difference.
It shouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to go, you're going there, won't you?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so thanks a million for taking your time to let me interview, and it's great to get such an insight into Limerick and what it was like
in those days.
yeah. So thanks a million.
Right, Sarah.
Thank you.